All right. Now, so earlier we looked at these questions and they were easy, right? The A term, the B term, it's really easy to spot out. Now, what about these? They are a little bit more complicated, just a little bit more complicated. And I'm going to show you how to see things better. Okay. And the way to spot out the difference of two perfect square is that when you see some perfect square numbers like 4 and 81, 25, 16, 49, like that gives you a really sharp sensation that, hey, maybe you got only two terms, right? Maybe like if you see four terms, it's gonna be grouping, right? Two terms, right? Two terms. There's no X term, right? There's no middle term. So guess what? Likely, very likely. But now, I also want to make sure that you can see things better. Now, as we said, that it's going to be a squared minus b squared, right? It's very important that you understand how to see the a term and b term. Now, this time, I mean, the b term is kind of easy, right? It's going to be 5 square, 5 square. What about the a term? Okay. Now, what is squared to give us 4x squared? 2x. Okay. If the 2x is being squared, then you've got 4x squared. So now then we say, oh, what's your a term? What's your b term? Your a term is going to be your 2x, and your b term is going to be your 5. All right. So you gotta learn how to analyze very carefully. You gotta analyze it. Okay. 32, same thing. 32. We think about, how can we look at it this way? Okay. We say, what's squared to give us 9x squared? Well, it's gotta be 3x. And you got 3x and then square the whole thing, you got 9x squared. And then 100 is just 10 squared, that's easy. So you factor it out into 3x plus 10, and then 3x minus 10. Okay? So now let's see if we can skip the writing part, and then we can, skip the breaking down part and go straight to the factors, all right? So what would be the a term? The a term would be 9x. And then the b term will be just 1, so 9x plus 1 and 9x minus 1. And then number 34, the a term is going to be 7x. And then the b term is going to be 4. So 7x plus 4, 7x minus 4. See how easy it is? Okay. So it's really about your sensitivity, how sensitive you are with these squared numbers. Now, this is slightly harder than the previous 6, right? And then now the next few, that's going to be some sort of challenge right here because you got negative. So, what do we do with negative? We factor it, right? Factor it. So that's easy, right? So we say, oh yeah, let's go ahead and factor this first. So negative 16, negative, taken out, 16x squared minus 9. And then you can go ahead and factor it, which gives you 4x plus 9, 4x minus 9. Okay. Same thing right here for 36. Okay, so wait, hold on. One thing at a time. So 16x squared minus 25. And then when you factor this, you would get 4x, 4x plus 5, and 4x minus 5. Okay, a squared minus b squared. So once you recognize that form, you can factor this almost automatically. Same deal right here. So 4x squared minus 1. So you know your a term, you know your b term. Your a term, it's 2x, and your b term, it's 1. So you can just go ahead and write it down. Okay, and then your last one, 38. You factor out the negative, so you have 9x squared minus 64. I want to write down 8 already. So your a term is 3x, and your b term, it's going to be 8. Okay, so that's how you factor all these out very quickly. Okay, So now the next video, we're going to see something even more challenging. Okay, and that might be considered as really level 3 stuff. Okay. We don't see them a lot, but we just need to be prepared for something like this. Okay. So the next video would talk about these questions.